All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. We all know that California is a very deep liberal state. And we can see the reason why they have certain choices and decisions and a lot of things. But what I want to talk about here this morning is this. And it's happening just like I said it was. When Donald Trump came in and started talking about illegal immigration and getting rid of the immigrants or deporting them, the hypocrisy of the news media is what's amazing to me, because under Barack Hussein Obama, he had a very, very aggressive deportation of what they call illegal immigrants. But you don't hear the news saying anything, nothing about that. You know why? Because, again, it's all politics. It has to do with the visceral hate for Donald Trump. And anything else doesn't matter. And anything he says or does, let's go ahead and make it hell for him. And that's what's happening. Now, the other day, I looked at a news article. And you know what the problem is? Just like I said it was going to happen. You've got all these onion farmers, all these people out there that has all this produce that is just sitting there in fields with nobody to harvest it. There are a lot of things that you simply can't just use a machine and harvest. Like up here, you know, you can't use a machine to harvest tobacco. It has to be done by hand. So forth with onions and everything else. And now with the immigrants feeling the politics of what's going on today, a lot of them are going into hiding. And a lot of them are actually not even going out and getting jobs today. Farmers out in California are paying in excess of upwards of $20 an hour just to try to get people in the fields to help harvest all of this produce. Now, don't get me wrong, it's hard work. It's hard work bending over. If you don't think bending over is hard work, just try to bend over. Just bend over. Touch your toes, just without even bending your knees. Just do that 100 times. And mind you, you're going to do that more than that in a day. You're going to be squatting down. That's good exercise too, keep you physically fit. But we live in a world that Americans just literally don't want to work. So now you've got all these jobs that are available, and Americans are not going to get out in them fields and work those jobs, even though they're paying $20. I even heard one guy's making $35 an hour to harvest produce. I don't mind telling you that a thought entered into my head. Maybe I need to go to California for a month or two right there and go out there and get in them fields and start helping harvesting some produce. But most people don't think like that. They don't think like that at all. And especially, you know, people are amazing today. I'm not even going to digress, all right? But don't sit up and tell me that jobs are not available when you have the alleged illegal immigrants that are running off into hiding and stuff, and now all these rich people don't have anybody to harvest their produce, their goods, their foods, and anything else. I can tell you right now, where I live at, man, these folks ain't getting out in no fields and harvesting no tobacco. No, their parents did that, but these children, they ain't going to do that. These parents have spoiled these children so much. It's so bad the way they have spoiled these children and stuff. And I can tell you the decline of society is all but real. And if we are waiting for Social Security to be around by the time we get that age, you know, think about it. When we started working, all the way up to we have our years in labor, we're actually funding Social Security. Well, we got a generation now that too many people are not doing any work. Why? Because you got 47% of the so-called people, alleged people, workforce on welfare and drawing Social Security, drawing welfare. You can't be prosperous as society doing that. So now things are going to have to be rethought, because who's going to get out there and harvest this stuff? If they rot in the fields, watch this. Can you imagine? If you go buy a 50-pound bag of onions, let me just keep it conservative. I don't know how much onions cost because my wife didn't do the shopping, but let's just say you spend $4 or $5 for onions. Guess what you're getting ready to pay? $20 for maybe 6 onions. You know why? Because nobody's out there harvesting. Somebody's got to pay these people to actually bring this stuff in from the fields. Whew. There's a lot that has to be desired, much to be desired, much to be learned. So when you start seeing the inflation-adjusted rates, when you start seeing the dollar that you carry in your pocket and his purchasing power diminish, there's a whole lot more at stake, and there's a whole lot more things that are working behind the scene that you are familiar with.